Monster Hunter Generations introduced the Deviant system, with Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate introducing more because Capcom thought it was a good idea, which it was. You know what wasn't a good idea from Capcom? The Apex system in Monster Hunter Rise. So let's talk about it. Before you start overthinking, this isn't necessarily a power scaling video, but I will try to talk about each monster extensively and give my thoughts on them. So without further ado, who the hell enjoys hunting Apex Arzuros? I feel like instead of carrying the mantle from Red Helm Arzuros, its more successful predecessor, he kind of just copies him in a worse way. The reason he's at the bottom of the tier list is because, like you'll see with the rest of this ranking, he's not all that. He's just... wow, even calling him glorified is a bit of an overstatement because he just sucks as a monster to hunt and is an even weaker monster in general. Monsters like Espinas, Rathalos, Glavenus, and even base Mizutsune would completely destroy this guy. Ibushi's Storm certainly didn't take its full effect with him. You'd think a monster who specializes in grapples, tackles, and charges would be pretty cool to hunt, but no. This guy just completely throws out that entertainment because Capcom wanted to give the lower tier monsters some Apex representation. At the very least though, when you first fight him in the Rampage quest, he serves a challenge, but not in the, oh, you have to think and dodge and wait to hit him. No, it's more like, holy shit, this guy took half of my HP with one swing? Like at that point, just get it over with. Apex Rathian is kinda no different, but honestly, I think in a lot of fights, she would have a good advantage given her venom instead of the usual poison. Before I say more, she's inspired by Dread Queen Rathian, but like, inspired is putting it extremely not lightly, since like Arzuros, she just feels like a cheap copy. Her flying capabilities look somewhat viable, but when you take into account that most monsters who fly get the Loki Hulk treatment during the turf wars, I sincerely don't think that she would do that much in a prolonged fight. Again, her venom could help, but if she's taken down before it takes effect, like what's the point? It's insane how I had little to say about her compared to Arzuros, but hey, it happens. And don't worry, it gets more interesting, but with every ranting of mine, I gotta start off with the trash before moving to the... Oh, wait. Okay, this entire list is filled with nothing but trash. Actually, nah. At least you could find like a dirty old gold watch that doesn't even work. And right next to Rathian on the tier list, I'm going to include Apex Mizutsune, courtesy of Soulseer Mizutsune, but she'd be embarrassed to hear that. To start off, not only does she suck at being a good iteration of her deviant progenitor, she's also basically a Timu Violet Mizutsune. Please pick a struggle, because Capcom, how do you fumble on the same monster twice by using a monster you brought into the game way after you released this one? Honestly, I kinda really don't mind, because like Rathian, she wouldn't last in a lot of fights versus the higher tiers. Yeah, her bubbles grant her a lot of coverage, I guess, but her water streams are really easy to dodge, and I don't see her hitting any of the fast flyers or the grounded monsters who can handle taking a shower. At least now we can talk about something cool, like Apex Rathalos. Just like Dread King Rathalos, he actually does a lot with his flame breaths, and his ultimate attack is just like the detonating pillars of stone that Dread King spits out every 3 seconds. And look at that explosion. That's enough to rival some Elder Dragon firepower, but no, I can't go that far, right? Right? Unfortunately, his design doesn't go too hard, but his moveset is actually pretty interesting, utilizing his flight to bombard you with a carpet bombing that isn't super difficult to dodge. I really think it could get him far in some fights. It's the firepower here that convinces me he's not as big of a disappointment as I originally thought he was. Now we get to Apex Zinogre, who so far embodies his deviant version the best. Thunderlord was a really great fight. He basically giving him a golden lightning suit of armor that one-shots you. And Apex Zinogre isn't really a joke. Hell, the first time you fight Amatsu, the very monster you wyvern ride to get an advantage on her is Apex Zinogre. By the way, it's incredible that they basically answered why you can't wyvern ride Apexes by yourself, because you need 2 hunters. I do wish that they made it into an actual mechanic instead of something only native to part of a single fight. Apart from all that, I think he does really well if you put him up against a lot of top tiers. I don't think a monster commands lightning better than him, maybe Narwa and Rajang, but the output this guy gives at least surpasses the monkeys. And he moves exceptionally fast, which makes sense because of the lightning. His attacks grant him great coverage, his moves are pretty in line with what Thunderlord does, and he's overall one of the 2 Apexes that aren't abysmal failures. Last but not least, Apex Diablos, or as I like to call him, Bloodbath's lil bro. For those who don't know, Bloodbath Diablos has solidified itself as the community's most favored deviant, and if he doesn't come back in Wilds, I will crush out on humanity. Capcom, bring him back and my life is yours. The top reason I like Bloodbath, and also why I don't mind Apex Diablos as much as the others, is because of his reason for living. pure, unadulterated rage and hatred towards every living thing. Seriously, the longer the fight drags on, the hotter he gets and the more steam or smoke or whatever he emits. Like, come on, isn't that just the most badass thing a monster can do? Unfortunately, all of that gets overshadowed by the fact that it doesn't really bring anything new to the table. At least he brings back that charge into a steam explosion that really makes me think that if I took him a lot more seriously as a monster, I'd say he would contend with some Elder Dragons. Usually, I don't glaze any monster at all, but his aggression and his whole "the angrier I get, the stronger I become" theme convinces me and probably a few other people that yes, this Apex is incredibly strong. He's quite literally, for all intents and purposes, strength incarnate. The way he makes the earth move and his speed, along with all the options his moveset gives him, he's Elder Dragon level easy. I know this is kind of to hate on the Apexes, but come on, like, this guy really comes close to being an Apex worthy of the title. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will never stop being grateful for all the wonderful people who stop by and watch my videos. We recently hit 400 subs in under 2 weeks, and I was blown away with how much people like my content. If you're interested, the Discord server link is in the description and pinned comment, as well as a playlist to all my other Monster Hunter related videos, which you should definitely check out and let me know what you guys think. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, maybe drop a comment on what I should rant about next, and you guys can always unsubscribe if I stop making fun content like this video. In any case, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love y'all.